Hi, Dylan Morrison here. Welcome to this, the 8th talk in my Desire series entitled Feelings. In the Jewish model of spirituality that Yeshua embraced, human feelings originated in the gut or abdomen, the residing place of divine spirit, the source of the living waters that the Nazarene promised to the Samaritan lady at the well. Today, the latest modern scientific research reveals that we have a highly developed sensory matrix within the human stomach, one as powerful as that found in the brain. So when we're bowled over by a beautiful sunset or a golden tree in the fall, we're emoting as a result of an encounter with Divine Other via our spirit gut. Most of the time, though, we in the modern world operate out of an entirely different place. What we describe as emotions are usually no more than the bumps that come our way in the rivalry of bumper car traffic relationships. Yeshua's feelings, on the other hand, were birthed from his well-developed sense of security and non-rivalry with divine love. The one intimately described as Abba or Papa God. All his relationships with others, even those with his adversarial religious opponents, may be understood in the context of this unique relational freedom. Our experience of what we commonly term feelings is, by contrast, always linked to another. In other words, our fragmented psyche soul or ego always transmits feelings as messages of defeat or victory in our subliminal power struggles with those whom we meet. Feelings are never just personal, but subtly linked to the complex matrix of humanity in which we find ourselves daily immersed. As we encounter a new individual, we unconsciously fall into a spatial mimesis or imitation of them, whether we acknowledge it or not. The desire pull involved will often trigger the replaying of old feeling tapes within, ones stemming from previous desire encounters. It takes time and often a lot of it for us to finally realize that such feelings are birthed in interpersonal relationships. In this mimetic interpretation of modern feelings, we constantly ride an ego-driven roller coaster with its alternating thrills of good and bad feelings, all transpiring on the track of relational rivalry. When a feeling suddenly appears out of nowhere, a relationship, whether past or present, will always lie behind it. So let's look at some of our most common feelings, interpreted within the framework of our relational power games. Feelings are often extremely complex, but this simple little diagnostic tool may help us to start unraveling their history within. Number 1, elation and depression. Elation is birthed by victory in the scapegoating game, a sense of being one up on another. Losing in a relational power play brings depression. It almost always stems from a stubborn model obstacle relationship that we can't break free from. Both of these feelings are usually associated with someone we're very attached to, for example, a controlling family relationship. Number 2, masochism. Bizarrely, we enjoy permanently losing to our model obstacle. Such regular defeats perversely reinforce our view of them as a god of sorts, one that it is our perverted pleasure to serve. We worship the other's sadism from our valued victim position. Number 3, fear and anger. Fear flows from the possibility of becoming the next scapegoat, the one to be ostracized or, more bluntly, got rid of. It's always the fear of losing something, particularly our sense of self. Often, we can be paralyzed by the apparent strength and overwhelming power of the other. Anger is our attempt to expel or drive out the other from within us, to rid ourselves of their all-controlling and suffocating presence within the psyche. Number 4, tears and laughter. Laughter is our defensive attempt to laugh off the threat posed by the other, our effort to see them as smaller than they appear to our fearful psyche. Stand-up comedians exercise great mimetic power in elevating us all to the position of communal scapegoaters. Strength in numbers empowers us in looking down our noses at our potential scapegoaters. Tears, on the other hand, are our attempt at throwing a curved ball of sorts at the approaching rival. The closer they have got to us, or rather, into us, the more likely we are to utilize this weapon of mass destruction in the emotional power game. A last-ditch attempt to shake the other off. Number 5, enthusiasm. A deeply religious word, enthusiasm suggests that we have been taken over or possessed by a god-like other. We are gifted with a divine power supply to aid us in our battle with our rival. Enthusiasm is a high-level weapon, one that attempts to permanently get rid of the adversarial devil god or model obstacle. Number 6, sexuality. Much modern sexuality has morphed into a subtle power game. To take over or dominate another's body is the ultimate one-upmanship. On the other hand, the sense of possession by or invasion of another can become an enticing power supply in the ego wars. Number 7, ideals. When ideals or ultimate goals find residence within our psyche, we're often launched on a utopian journey, one that will end in tears. As we attempt to live up to our model or ideal, it quickly becomes an obstacle as we encounter failure in our vain attempt to reach or achieve it. Our model mindset becomes our personal prison, one that condemns us to play the role of loser or scapegoat in our spiritual or metaphysical quest. Number 8, fascination. Fascination is one of the most powerful and potentially dangerous feelings that we can encounter. It allows the other to take up residence within all the rooms of our personal psychic home. Unlike other feelings, it has staked its domineering claim in all the subpersonality areas of our life. Embracing this exciting but ultimately dangerous quest, I push aside all other possibilities for my life. I am totally sold out to this person or to this ideal. Riding this fascination wave can be extremely exhilarating, but once we fall off, we hit the depths of dark despair. Crimes of passion often occur during this period of extreme disillusionment. So how then are we to detach from these so-called feelings that initially promise so much, but ultimately imprison us? Withdrawal from the vicious circle of imitative desire is the only way out. Yet, who is to open our prison door? I believe it to be Yeshua the Nazarene, the one in harmonious mimesis with divine source. Such a one, lying outside the sphere of human power plays, whispers to us a most radical invitation. Come, follow me. Enter into my mimesis with divine love. Come away now into the joy of my mimetic freedom.